Hi guys, Cargrass here. Sorry about missing last week's video for Saturday. I was having a hard time deciding how to make it interesting because we're just going over adding sprites to construct or sprites in general to just about any 2D game. Alright, for construct itself, they actually have a nice kind of built-in Sprite Creator that allowed me to just import this guy in and make this really simple sprite here. To get access to it, you just right click, insert an object, go to the sprite object, it'll automatically assign it to name, insert, then it wants you to place it somewhere. So if I place it there, it gives me the picture editor. Now, if you're kind of new to this kind of stuff, I'm going to show you something that works a little nicer than this, because they could just kind of toss you in here and hope you figure it out, which is not the best. I will show you a program here in a moment that gives you a nice little grid system. This while it has a grid system, like if we go to the pencil, you can see there's most definitely a grid where the pixel wants to snap to, and that's useful. But I kind of prefer having a bit more control. Like I said, I'll show you in a moment here a program that does have a bit more control. So do that. Paint bucket tool. We have a basic triangle. All sprites are considered pointing to the right when you create them. So if you want to save change, even though this is pointed up, as far as the animator is concerned, this is it pointed to the right. So if you're wanting to ever changes, you double click, then we can just rotate it. We want to rotate it. There we go. It's now pointed to the right. Save changes to this image. There we go. So now if we're ever pressing right with WASD or the arrow keys, it should default to this direction. Then if we add a new angle, have it pointed down. See, angle to the right, angle pointed down. We needed a new kind of symbol there, so we could just right click this, copy this frame from here, paste frame, get rid of this blank one that adds in, making sure we're still on the pointed down. Go back into it, rotate, 90 degrees, save, and so on and so forth. You kind of get the idea. So if we were to start up the game and assign this controls, if we point it to the right, it should point this way. If we point it down, it should go down. So on and so forth. Really basic stuff. There's a lot of kind of editing tricks. You can have it transition between the different states it's in. So just a very brief example. If we went in here, insert event, if key is pressed, or if key is down, if the right arrow is down, change the sprite to I might be thinking construct 2. This should be just... delete event. Alright, we probably have to give it... One second, I completely forgot this. Okay, sprite controls, behaviors. Right, 8 direction. Okay, so yeah, I did miss a step. You would add, let's see, insert 8 direction. This sprite now has the 8 direction capabilities. It's controlled by player 1, which is the default. We don't want all 8 directions, we just want 4. And now it would automatically change directions based on the angle here. So, yep, that's the basics for Construct Classic. The reason I'm not hopping into the layout and showing you and being a bit more thorough is because the program itself has been acting very sluggish as of late. Not really working as nicely as I'd hoped. So I am looking into other kind of game creation programs that might be able to continue kind of showing how to work with, or starting kind of bringing you guys along while I mess around with them. But between last episode and this one, it all now that you know how to make sprites and add them in and give them behaviors, which is as simple as clicking on them and then adding a behavior, it all does kind of come down to what kind of game you want to create. Like here I was going to show you the kind of typical kind of asteroids type of game, where we could turn this about. Obviously I'd want more angles than just the 4 if we were doing a completely, completely normal kind of asteroids game. Better yet would be having it follow the mouse, which is an option you can have it do. You can always have it pointed. You could set one of those image points to here and always have the image point pointing the object towards the mouse, which works pretty well. Anywho, onto the more precise program. Everyone that has Windows has this. You can probably see it here. Here we go. Paint. It's a very simple, basic tool. Very good for kind of practicing. Like I said, I like pixel art. I may not have said it, but I kind of prefer the pixel art style. I like it. Works really well, at least for me. And there is a better, not a better version, but a program that does the whole pixel art thing better, but it does cost money. This is a free kind of alternative. If you're not wanting to pay for a Sprite, or I can show you that in a moment here actually, but if you don't really have money to spend on a program, this works. And then you kind of using the same tools, we can, if we were going for another triangle, we could do that. Make another line, start from here. There you go. And then if you wanted to really fine tune it, you could change the color and start deleting the pieces you don't want and refine it. Refine until it's exactly how you want it. Then you could take that image and upload it. So, want to save? Yes, sure. To the desktop. Save it as Untitled 3. Insert object. Sprite. Then we open an existing document. Go to Untitled 3. And there you go. It's in the game. So you would want to erase kind of this background here. Erase it back to alpha, I believe. Bring this to 0. Boop. There you go. Now we can show the background past the image. Obviously, I'm not going to keep that. And I will fiddle with this maybe off camera or when we start working, or when I start working with the new program. Start messing with this a little more. Get back into making like a little space shooter to do an example game. Last thing I'm going to show. Give me one moment, guys. I'll bring it up here in a moment. This right here is the Sprite, the program I had mentioned before. It is, if you're into pixel art, this is the game not game, but the program to work with. It's on Steam. I want to say it was around like $20, give or take. Yeah, they kind of do things right. They also have animation type software right in the program itself. I believe they also have kind of like the onion skin from Animate, I think it's called. I don't know if. Oh yeah, show onion skin. So yeah, they do have it. So you can see what the animation looked like one step before and one step after. Yeah, so if you have the money and don't want to spend the time very painstakingly putting one pixel at a time like you would with Paint, this might be the program for you. The only reason this wasn't the first on the list is because this costs money, obviously. And I want to give some cheaper alternatives. And I know not everybody has Paint. People that are not using Windows won't have Paint, I don't believe. They might have a program similar on their computer, but for them, if you don't have Paint to have nice little grid lines, you can always use this. I believe there is a grid line. Yeah, show grid. We want the grid to be 1 pixel by 1 pixel. Yeah, nice little grid system. Yeah, that's kind of all I got for today. Just nice little how to put sprites into Construct Classic, how to have them automatically rotate to the correct position when you have them moving. You do need this 8-direction behavior. You don't have to limit it just to the 4 directions, but what would have been for demonstration purposes, I would have just went with the 4 directions and had the arrow spinning about. But yeah, like I said, the program's been being a little troublesome as of late, so I will be looking into another one to maybe start showing you guys how to use. Anyway, sorry for a kind of rambly short video, but I hope you learned at least a little bit about how to work with Construct Classic. and how to add these sprites in. Yeah, that's really all I have, unfortunately, for this week. Next week, if I don't have a new game engine to kind of work with, or if this one doesn't start shaping up, I may hop to another engine. If not, you may see some more gaming videos, or maybe another art video. We'll see what next week brings. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.